Look, I got no idea what I'm doing. I don't know who put me in charge of this thing. Terrible idea. All right, we're gonna try this one again. So, I guess the morning ramble brief. Coffee maker showed up, which I'm thoroughly excited about. Finally got my favorite coffee again. And got a few things on the machine, kind of buttoned up this morning. Had to run to the farm store yesterday and pick up zip ties. So got all that stuff kind of squared away this morning, got up and running. Gonna be a good day. Like I said, I'm hoping my wear parts come in. And then I'm probably gonna run into the cities and pick them up, do some other shopping while I'm in town. And go to the boss's volleyball game. So I'm not expecting today to be a real long day as far as machine time, but kind of looking forward to getting some stuff squared away and seeing the kid and watching her volleyball game. And then talking with the landowner yesterday, he said that the road commissioner found out I was in the area, and he's got some stuff that he wants me to look at. And I think we're probably going to try and do that tomorrow. I think he's got some stuff going today, and I'm not going to be in town very late, so I'm going to look at some stuff for the township tomorrow, which is good. So things are rolling right along. This project, we're moving pretty good. And just talking with the landowner yesterday, he's got some other stuff he wants to add to this project, so that's always a plus. So I don't want to ramble on too long, but figured I'd give you guys a morning briefing, and we will probably fire you guys back up a little later on. And hopefully find some cool stuff along the way. Like I said, it's always hard for me because, you know, so much of this stuff it all looks the same. I don't know how much you guys want to see, so I'm trying to give you different stuff. And as much as I think looking at me is worse than watching the machine, at least it's a little different point of view for a while. So I guess with that being said, I'm gonna get back to work here, focusing on work, and we'll get you guys fired up in a little while. On to the next section of fence. So there's two more sections here, plus some stuff along the front of the property that we're going to do. But we're basically going up both sides of this ditch here. I think there's some spots where there is still fence, some of it's gone. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. You know, the landowner wants to do this so that they can maintain it easier. So it's not like there's a real specific goal or target that we're working on. Other than just clean it up, make it look good, and make it easy to keep clean. So, just a lot of ground to cover. Other than that, just talked to my parts lady, and our knives are in. So I'm going to take off here in a couple hours, run home and grab the pickup and run in town, and fortunately start spending a bunch of money. Got some more parts and supplies to pick up, a few things that I need to get for myself. Normally I tend to, most days, try and run till at least dark, so that doesn't always give me a ton of free time to do this kind of stuff. So I figured if I'm going to be shutting down early, for one thing, I might as well make the most out of it, which unfortunately means a lot of running around and shopping for me, which is not real high on my priority list, but it's what it is. But it will be nice to get fresh knives on this thing. Like I was saying earlier, brush and small stuff doesn't make a ton of difference other than just cutting a little cleaner. Which for these guys, they're not, you know, truthfully, they don't really care. He's going to mow this with a bat wing, so, you know, it's not like a backyard project where we're worried about lawnmower tires and four-wheelers and kids stepping on it or anything like that. This is all either tillable ground or cattle pasture, and we can leave it pretty rough. They're more than happy with that. They just need it, you know, basically to the point where you can hit it with the bat wing, and that's all they care about. But new knives definitely make it easier dealing with some of this bigger diameter material, and when I'm trying to, you know, shave stuff off like this, new knives definitely work better and leave a cleaner cut. So it's time. So I figured I would get you guys fired back up and get a couple more chunks of video anyway. It's time to clean out the old memory card and do some editing. Another thing I'm not super thrilled about, but that may be some of what I do. I get a lot of my errands run early. Try and find somewhere to sit and do some video work. Alrighty guys, we'll see if this works. As you can tell, it is a completely different day than what yesterday was. So I don't even know what the temperature is now, but I'm freezing. I'm actually sitting in the truck to warm my hands up. I'm trying to change knives on the head, and my stupid fingers are frozen to the point where they don't want to work anymore. So definitely not 60-some degrees like it was yesterday. And I've been trying to get you guys more video of the day-to-day stuff. It's cold enough where this stupid GoPro didn't want to work either. It kept shutting off saying battery was low. So I'm trying to warm that up and warm myself up, and we're going to kind of jump back into it here in a minute, and I'll try and put you guys on a time lapse, but we'll see. Mother Nature is back with a vengeance right now. So that is kind of the morning update. Like I said, I'm going to try and get you guys some time lapse of changing knives, and then we're going to get to work. I don't feel that hot. It's cold. It's a cruddy day, so here we are. Knives on. Just kind of letting the head spin up for a little bit, get the oil and grease fluid again. Now that winter has returned. So you guys should have seen a video. Hopefully it's out by now, by the time you're seeing this. My frustrations with Fecon. So that's kind of a whole deal on its own, and I don't want to get into any more of that. I'd rather not be in a bad mood all day. But it's funny, I made another post about one of the issues, well, mainly the knife issue. So the fact that they're shutting down other suppliers, they're not just shutting them down, they're suing them and trying to put them out of business. Let's call it what it is. So my supplier, who's an awesome dude and a small business and just trying to give people what they've been asking for years, is literally getting sued by Fecon. And whatever, they say it's, you know, a design thing. Well, the products that he's selling, Fecon doesn't supply that design, and the only reason he supplies it is because there's been several of us that have specifically asked for that part. Fecon refuses to support it and basically tells everybody to go to hell. And so he decided he was going to make them and sell people what they were wanting the whole time. So enough of that rant. I made a post the other day and said, well, now that Fecon is shutting all of our suppliers down, does anybody have a go-to for knives for this head? And I wasn't polite when I posted it, nor did I care to be. I just had somebody from Fecon reach out about the post and want to talk. So I don't think that dude knows quite what he's getting into. I think he thinks it's a one-time deal and it's a short, quick, like make the customer happy thing and get back on about business. This dude is in for a rude awakening if he wants to keep pursuing this. I told him he'd be better off just dropping it. We can both go on about our day and wished him a good weekend. But he's trying to be a little persistent about it. So anyway, like I said, while I'm getting things started here, I just figured I would give you guys that little tidbit. So, like I said, Mother Nature is back with a vengeance. And it is cold. So, I did remember my coffee. You're about to have a real bad day. So, I guess that's kind of where we're at. I am happily going to keep my behind in this machine as much as possible today. I'm still not feeling great, and it's weird because, like, I don't feel sick, but something just definitely isn't happening. Could be I'm out of shape and haven't been eating very well. But for now, we're going to blame it on the weather because that's just more fun. So yeah, that is kind of the status of the day so far. Got a little bit of maintenance done once my parts finally showed up. I'm trying to get back to business. So because of the fact that I have been feeling great and had to do some maintenance, we're definitely getting a much later start than normal. We'll see how today goes. The boss is supposed to have horseback lessons tonight. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to try and make them or not. Still kind of hesitant with not feeling well. If this does turn into something, I don't want to be getting everybody sick. The reality is I'm out here by myself all the time, so I'm not really don't have too much risk of spreading stuff around. So this long story longer, that's kind of where we're at and what's going on right now. We're gonna hopefully get a good chunk of this part of this fence line knocked out today. With new knives and full tank of fuel. And some podcasts. We're just gonna hammer down. So, if you guys have suggestions for podcasts, put them in the comments, because I go through about 8 to 10 hours of podcasts a day, if not more, between driving around in the truck and working in the machine. That's about all I listen to anymore. So I go through material more than most. And I've been out of stuff to listen to for a while, and I've gone through and listened to stuff a couple of times, and always looking for something new, guys. So if you come up with something or find something you like, leave it in the comments, because I'm always looking for something fresh. Alright guys, so we're just kind of chipping away at this. Like I said, we got a long way to go on this one. I haven't sat down and figured out the total distance. When I was looking at this job with the landowner, we kind of broke it into different sections. He's got a budget that he's wanting to stay in, and so, you know, we basically broke it down section by section until we got to, you know, what his budget was, and then called it good at that point. So I need to sit down and do the math, but overall, I mean, I think we're probably easily close to 1.5 miles or 2 miles of fence line, which I'm cool with. Definitely a good project, and because of the situation, made it super easy and convenient for me to do it. Like I've said in other videos, this is the third neighbor in a row on this road that I have worked for, and I've literally been able to just track the machine across farm ground from one project to the next. So rarely does it work out like that. Even if I end up working for neighbors, a lot of times I have to load the machine up and haul around property lines or roads or something like that. So it's kind of a cool change of pace. But figured I would get a little more video. Definitely glad to have new knives on here. Like I said, for this small stuff, really doesn't make much of a difference, other than if I'm trying to get something like cut flush with the ground, it definitely cuts better. But like this project, they're going to mow with the brush mower, so not only are they okay with a little bit bigger size material being left behind, but they're also not concerned with everything being cut completely flush with the ground. He's going to come in, there's an old fence that's in here, he wants to pull that fence out. They're going to do some work on this ditch and kind of clean up the banks and probably straighten a few areas out just from erosion and stuff like that. So he just wants access to all this stuff. So anyway, the new knives make it a lot more efficient and bigger material, and when I reach up to cut branches off of trees, I can get a little nicer cut. Doesn't quite look so scraggly. But it allows me to move a little quicker. Until you get to the really fuzzy stuff like this. We just got to let it eat through the machine. Well, alrighty guys, let's see how long this lasts. So, today's going to be a problem solving kind of day apparently. It's like almost 3 o'clock on Friday. Unfortunately, we are down, so I need to go and take the head to the welder again. Got some stuff, a liner issue and a crack and just some stuff that needs to get repaired, but if I keep pushing it, it's going to be a much bigger problem, and that's the last thing we need. And on top of that, I've tried to record this probably 8 different times, and the one thing this GoPro is definitely a pro at doing is turning itself off. We're finding some excuse to shut down, so kind of looks like I'm going to be ordering a different camera system this weekend as well and just being done with this. I'm tired of fighting with it. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, unfortunately we are down, and if you look through the back window you can see the heads on the back of the truck. So shout out to my buddy Rob and Southwick Machine and Fabrication, because every time this thing has an issue, he is my go-to. And yet again, he's gonna save my tail. So we are on the road headed to Southwick's, and gonna drop this thing off to him, let him do his thing, and see if we can get this thing squared away, so I can get a few of these projects finished up. Unfortunately, this has kind of been a theme I don't know, the last month or so, as I get halfway through a project and some issue comes up. So anyway, that is a status update for the current situation. I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to get this head back, so Once I do, I will let you guys know, and we'll pick back up where we left off.